Hello, my crafty friends. Welcome to Happy Place Crafting, crafting therapy for the soul. I hope you're having a great day. I am actually doing a voiceover for this video this time because originally when I recorded it, for some reason the sound didn't record. So what I'm showing you right now is I had taken a bunch of the grocery bags from Walmart and I took them apart, and I have been doing that to use the materials, and I want to show you all the stuff that you can get out of just, these bags. Like the handles. I use the handles and they can be stretched out. I've been using them to make some of the baskets, and I'm using them for handles for the baskets as well that I've been weaving. But I mean, it's really great because they're already um, like they're already folded up and glued, so that part's done for you. So that really works out well with those. So I have a bunch of those in a bag, and I store them. Once I take them and cut them into parts, then I store them in those parts so that when I need something I can go get it. And it looks like I'm showing you that they also can be opened up. Kim Newberg, actually, I saw her do this when she was showing how to things that you can do with some of the bags. She opened the handles up, and by doing so, then you have like 4 times as much paper space, and you can use them to back tags or to make tags, or whatever you need to use them for, to cover. See how big it gets when you open it up. I did it with that one, but I haven't done it with any more of them because I have a lot of pieces already that are that size, and so I don't really find it necessary to open them all up. I have been using them more for just for the handles, and for using them to weave for the woven baskets and stuff. Matter of fact, just yesterday I used some of them to weave a basket to keep some sprays in. So, and the baskets are really strong. It's surprising how strong they really are. So it's kind of cool. And then I'm showing you, these are the pieces, you can also use these to fold them up to make the strips for the baskets, or you can use them to make tags, or to cover up the back of a tag. There's tons and tons of stuff you can use this for. And then the bottoms, you can fold them, make them into books, use them as covers. There's just so many uses that you can use with these. And I found them really a valuable resource. And it's something that I get for free. Like, I get my groceries delivered. So I get at least 5 of these bags every week. So, and that really adds up over time. I don't want them to end up in the landfill. So I have been cutting them up, and the bigger pieces, I've been cutting up and using them. I iron them, and you can use them as pages. You can use them for your gel plates. You can use them to put through your printer and print on them, which I have done and is really kind of cool. But yeah, there's tons of things you can use these for. Now, I think I'm just trying to get these put together so that I can put them away. I think I'm showing you, those were some of the ones that I folded to make into strips for the woven baskets. And then these little ones, the ones that get cut off, are strips, and would be great to use for snippet strips, to paste things on or sew them on there. I mean, it's one continual strip. It would be terrific. Plus, paper bags, these brown paper bags are pretty sturdy. I mean, they're made to be that way. So, they can kind of take a lot of damage. And so that's another, good way. I mean, you can tear them, of course, but they are sturdy as well. Like, I don't think I would use those little strips for belly bands or anything. And although I guess you could put something on them that would make them a little bit sturdier. If you used cardstock maybe instead of paper to put on the top of them, then it would make it, just a little bit sturdier. And that would work as far as that went. And then I think I had some little just extra pieces, and I was gonna I think I decided to stamp on those. Oh, here I'm showing you the pages that I actually got out of each one. Those haven't been ironed yet, but, and gosh, now I have, I bet you I have like over 200 of those that to use to, for whatever I need them for book pages or, whatever. But they're really nice to have. I haven't used them for the gel plate yet. I'm kind of anxious to do that because I think that might be kind of a cool effect because of the color that they are. So I think I'm gonna have to try. I've been itching to get the gel plate out anyway, so I think I might have to try that and see how that goes. But yeah, I'm just showing you how many of them there are, I guess. I don't remember what I was talking about with half of this stuff. But I didn't want to leave this video without any sound because it is part of a great series, this misbehaving, and I want to make sure that that you get to see all of it, and that people don't not watch this part because there's no sound. Because I think if it was me, I might not watch it, or I might fast forward through it if I was really interested in it, or if there wasn't any sound, I suppose. But I don't know, half the time I'm listening to the sound and not really paying attention to what's on the screen. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe I should be listening to podcasts or something instead of YouTube videos. I don't know. But these little extra pieces, I'm just using word stamps and stamping on them. And I'm going to put them in my little basket here. And if I need them for a cluster or whatever, then I will have them. And those won't go to waste either, just those little bitty pieces. I think, I was counting them to see how many there were because I was going to try to make sure I did like the same amount of each type of stamp. I had gotten some new stamps, some new word stamps, and so I wanted to check each one out. I need to do a better job about showing you guys things close up, because if you're not watching it on a TV, I think it might be a little harder to see. But I need to start making a conscious effort. I try to make improvements on the videos as I go along. Recently, one of my subscribers let me know that the beginning sound was really kind of too loud, so I was able to go in and adjust that and turn it down. And I was watching one of my videos the other day, and I noticed that the lighting was super bright. So I've made note of that and tried to tune that down a little bit so that it makes it not so difficult to see things. So I'm still learning. You know, my channel's just a little over a year old now, and you know, I've come a long way from when I started. When I started just filming myself coloring. Um, who would have thought? If you would have told me then that my channel would have evolved into what it is now, I probably would have called you a liar. Because I would have been like, no way. Because, you know, I had no idea. You know, when I started, I thought, I'll be lucky if I get, you know, 1 or 2 people. Now I have over 500 in just a little over a year. And I'm really, you know, I'm really honored, really, that my channel has grown like that. And I'm very appreciative of the people that I've met along the way and all of their support and encouragement. And it's been just a wonderful experience for me. And I really am honored, and I really do appreciate it. All right, so it looks like we got those stamped. So getting those put away. Got to clean up after myself. Since this video, I have totally moved my craft room around, so things are not at all where they were before. See, there's that basket I was talking about of the stuff that I put in there for clusters. Those are just little scraps, really, is all they are. Oh, I'm showing you this. That came off of when I was taking books apart. That came off the spine of a book, and I just thought it was so cool. It was so yummy. I just could not throw it away. So I stuck it in there, thinking hopefully I can use it for a cluster along the way. And that'll be really fun to be able to use that. Just something different. I'm always looking for things that are different. I think I'm just showing you the kind of things that are in there, the kind of papers that I use that are in that basket. There's just scraps of everything, lined paper and book pages and magazine pages and ads, and there's just little tidbits of everything. And I'm just gonna stick those in there so that I have them. And oh, I'm showing you how what is her name? Was it somebody that I watch? I kind of think it was Pam from the Paper Outpost. It was, I think. She shows you how she just takes a bunch of those, sticks them together, sticks a staple on them, and uses them as a cluster, which is actually really cool. And a good way to use those up. And, you know, very easy, simple. You can do it, you know, while you're doing other things. Okay, so now I'm pulling out the book again, and today it looks like we are working on, oh, who are we working on today? I gotta look. Oh, we're working on Ruby. Yeah, on Ruby Bridges. And that's who we're gonna work on. And I think, I forgot, gosh, this whole book is done now when I'm doing this. So I've got to look back and see what's going on. And so I'm just going to fussy cut some of these images out. And don't forget that you can get this kit by becoming a member of my Ko-Fi. And you just go to Ko-Fi. The link is in the description. It's also in the link's in my channel description as well. And if you go to Ko-Fi, you can just put in Happy Place Crafting, and it should come up as well. You just go in there, become a member. It's a donation of a minimum donation of $1 a month. You get, last month I released 3 kits that, the members got for free. So it's really a good deal. And yeah, go get the kit. This one is really just a bunch of collage items to put together to make your own women empowerment book, however you feel fit. And I tried to give you a lot of choices for um, each woman, so that you know not everybody's would be the same. There are choices, different choices you can make of whatever you want to use. I try to give many things, and like I said, for this book in particular, I used um, the gel plate sheet prints that I've had in my stash. I just picked a bunch of those because I do want to use those up. Um, there's no point in having them if you don't use them. This year, I think everybody's really concentrating on trying not to purchase as much. Not to say that I'm not going to purchase, because I am going to purchase, but I do want to make sure I'm using the things that I have. And I think that's important. And um, Diane from Messy Palette Australia, she's doing a series, Use It or Lose It, which I think is terrific. So I think it is important to use the things that we have, and sometimes you just need reminded of different ways to use them. Sometimes I forget I have things, and then I'm like, I'll see somebody using it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've got that. Oh, I need to try to, you know, and I like it when that happens, because so often you're seeing new things, right? Especially like Bitty Petty, she is my enabler. She's always showing me new stamps, or gosh, the other day she had these doilies that I was like, oh my gosh, I think I really need these doilies. So I'm gonna use those. I need to order those. So yeah, we're always seeing new things that we think we need, and not being as reminded about the things that we already have that we need to be using. Um, so, because we're not getting younger, you gotta use what you got. Now I think I've decided, chosen the ones that I'm going to use, and now I'm just cutting up the ones that I'm not going to use and putting them aside, so that I will have them if I need them later, because a lot of them can be used, cross-used with different ones. I mean, I had some in mind, but you can certainly mix and match them, use them with others. And getting rid of the trash, and sticking those in our little envelope there, so that we know what we're doing there. And I've been trying to do, with each video, I've been trying to do get 2 pages done of the book. And that worked out pretty well, actually, because there were 12 pages in total for the book. So there's 6 videos, two each. And there's a flip through, and it is on TikTok. I'm on TikTok. So if you want to go over there and watch it, I did try to put it on YouTube. I'm not sure it went through on YouTube or not, because I think there might have been some copyright issues because I added a song to it. But I'll have to check on that. But for sure there is a flip through at the end of how this all turned out. And like I said, there are 6 videos in total for this series. In each video, so we concentrate on 2 women in each video. And of course, this one we're working on right now is Ruby Bridges. She was the first African American to go to an all-white school. She was bused to the school, and she was a brave little girl. I can't even imagine. Can you imagine? I can't even imagine how brave you would have to be. But I don't know. It is so hard to imagine because, like, now I know my grandkids, they don't really like see people they don't see the differences in people, um people grow to do when they become older, maybe, and certainly probably not how people were taught to see differences in others, during the 70s and 60s and you know before then. um and now, I mean, people are taught that way now, I'm sure, but I don't think it's as commonplace as it was back then. But yeah, I mean, they just don't really see the difference. They just see their friends. They don't care if you're green or purple or you know tall or skinny or chubby. They don't care. They just see their friends, and that makes me happy that they see that. But unfortunately, not everybody is like that. What am I doing here? It looks like I'm looking for. Oh, I think I was looking for an apple. I knew I had a die with kids for school, and I was looking for something. Oops, sorry, to put around the border, to use for the border for this one, and I pretty sure that there's an apple on there. Yeah, I think that's what I'm pointing to. And I think about using that apple to put it around the border and see how that's going to look. It's, all of these prints had white borders. I could have cut them, made the pages smaller, but I actually liked using them to frame the pictures, with each each like item or whatever, stamp or whatever I decide to use to kind of frame that particular picture that I do. I don't know. Is it frozen? No. It looked like I was frozen. I must have been thinking. Sometimes when my brain is thinking, my body freezes. Does yours do that? Mine does sometimes. Okay, so I'm taking all these off of there. We're going to try to stamp the border and see how that looks. See if we like it. Got to get a platform to stamp it. My words, they sometimes just really leave me. Words can be hard sometimes as you're getting older. This morning I was trying to think of words. I was like so frustrated. I'm like, oh my gosh, I really just feel like some days my brain is foggier than others. So, and we decide I'm going to stamp it in red and see how that looks. That looks cute. And I'll just stamp some apples along the side there, along the top, and see how that goes. I haven't done a voiceover in forever. And I mean forever. And I could have just let this go, but there's 2 in a row. And I'm like, ugh. You know, OBS had an update, and every time it does that, I should know that it messes my system up. But I didn't even think about it. And then by the time I don't always watch the videos back, because I don't edit them anymore. It's all hanging out there. It is what it is. You're going to see it good, bad, or ugly. So, because I really don't like this process, this editing process. It's not my cup of tea, really. Whoops. Sorry. That was my lovely doctor sending me a message. So I decided that I wasn't crazy about the apples. I just wasn't really sure it was going to work. It might have been okay if it had been in a solid stamp instead of an outline. I did have some washi tape that had alphabets on it for school. That would be really cute, right? So I think that's a good idea to use that washi tape. And that is what I end up using. And I guess I'm still thinking about it. But I know that's what I end up using. Because I've already seen the page done. And if you've already watched this once, you've probably seen it done too. But I'm looking to see if there's anything else that would work, I guess. But there isn't anything else that's going to work. It needs to be the alphabet tape. And that makes sense. So, you know, for school. She went to school. She was so cute. Wasn't she cute? That smile. Gotta love that smile. Oh, now something else is reminding me of something. Who knows what it is? I have been having major technical issues lately. Oh, I'm like, oh, it seems like sometimes they just get technically hard. They sure do. They sure do. Let's see. Why did I finish doing this? Oh, I guess because I realized that you'd be able to see them underneath because the stamp is a little bit clear. All right, so then I wanted it to be consistent. Good on me for doing that. That way it looks like it wasn't a mistake if I finished it off and covered it up. But today when I'm looking at it, you can't hardly even tell they're apples. It almost looks like somebody circled certain letters in the top there, is what it kind of looks like. And washi tape, you know, we're going to have to probably glue it down. What am I looking for? Oh, scissors to cut it. Sizzles, sizzles. I really like my border thing, but I guess it's okay. I think I've adjusted that now, though. I moved the Ko-Fi down. Or coffee. I call it Ko-Fi. Because I think it was supposed, although it has a coffee cup, but if it's supposed to be coffee, I guess it's C-O, but you would think it would be K-O-F. Although coffee, coffee. Oh, I kind of get it. Maybe it is coffee. I don't know. They don't have any commercials over here. I had never heard of it until I started watching some people from overseas, and they seem to use it a lot. Over here, not as much, but people are starting to. It's starting to catch on. So, and it's really a great thing because, I mean, this percentage they take is very minuscule. It's run by artists for artists. Um, so, you get donations. You can give things for free. Um, do digitals. You can do actual physical products. My daughter Sadie, she has her own sticker shop on there as well. Pet Froggy, and which is pretty cool. My phone won't be quiet today, will it? Just getting all kinds of notifications. It's probably a notification from YouTube that somebody's put a video down from one of the millions of people that I follow. So now we're just trying to place the different things on here and get these down. We got the school down, the books, the bus, and we'll stick her picture down, her photo, and I think we decide it needs words. We need some kind of words. I'm gonna have to look back through. Oh no, I've already picked the words out. Oh, yep, you are brave. I'm trying to decide where I want to put them. Let's audition some spots where we want to put them. And we end up with there. Yeah, we do end up there. Sorry, you hear my little dog click clacking around, checking up on everybody. And take the stamp and put it away so we don't lose the little apple. I think that's the only little apple that I have. And I have used it many times, so that's pretty cool. I'm glad I have it, actually. Now we're going to find somebody else. Oh, who else are we doing? Are we going to do Harriet? I'm going to do Harriet. All right. Do Harriet Tubman. It's terrific. It was just her birthday yesterday, actually. March 10th. I saw it. It came up on something. I don't remember what it was. I saw it come up on, though. And it said March 10th was her birthday. And I thought that was really cool. I'm trying to figure out what I want to put around the edge of that one. I want something that kind of represents railroad tracks. And I have a stitch that kind of does that. It's kind of like I don't know, a crisscrossy type stitch. And I think it would actually be perfect for the border for this one. And fortunately for you, this one comes together a lot quicker than the other one. Not as many decisions need to be made. Things seem to fall in place a little bit better. I'm kind of getting my groove with these things a little bit better. So we'll get there with this one. The background of this one's really cool. If you see the X's and O's, isn't that kind of neat? I thought that was pretty cool. I really like that background. I do need to make some more. Oh, I'm trying to decide, I think, what color I want to use. And I decide that I want to pick up the gold from the X's and O's. And I know that I do have gold ink. So I'm going to try that out and see how it goes. And I think it'll work out just fine. It will work out just fine. And try to stamp that on there. See how that turns out. Looks like it's going to work out good. All right, so let's use it and put it on the top. And we're going to put it all around the border of this. I like the gold and the purple together. And I'm not a huge gold person, to be quite honest. I'm a silver gal myself. I'm not a fancy gold gal. But I do think there is a time and a place for gold. And this is the time and the place to use it this time. I love these stitches, stamps that I have. I mean, I stitch a lot anyways, stitch pages together and such, but these faux stamps are kind of a cool way to do them as well when you don't feel like getting a sewing machine out. Or if you don't have a sewing machine, that works as well. I always think back to when I very first started junk journaling and how I got this tiny little machine because I didn't want to use my big machine, my good machine for paper. Gosh forbid. And now when I look back at that, I just kind of laugh because I've used my sewing machine for paper more than I probably ever have for fabric at this point. And it works just dandy. And that tiny little sewing machine, it just did not work. That was a waste of $20, if I should say so myself. Just didn't work out. But I should give it to my granddaughter. Let her mess around with it. Try to sew some stuff. Learn how to sew. Because it is more like a toy sewing machine. It had good reviews too, but that just goes to show you can't trust those reviews either. You cannot. And I kind of think maybe it ended up taking batteries, or I had to buy a plug for it, and then the plug seemed to give it too much juice. And it was that was just a mess. It was a mess. I even made like a cute little box for it and put fabric all around it. People that were watching me probably thought I had lost my marbles. Like, what are you doing, woman? Just use your sewing machine. And my sewing machine's nothing fancy. It's just a brother's sewing machine from Walmart. Nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. You don't really need a fancy sewing machine. I mean, I have an embroidery machine as well, but and I have been trying to use that more often. Embroidery seems to be making kind of a comeback a little bit, I've noticed. I've been seeing more and more and more of it lately. And I think that's a really good thing. Because it is so gorgeous. I got a bunch of things too so that I could do some hand embroidering while I'm watching TV. I like to keep my hands busy while I'm watching TV at night. And I don't do well about just sitting there and doing nothing. I need to keep my hands busy. So I thought embroidery would be a really good way to do that. And make something pretty. I think embroidery was one of the very first things I learned when I was learning to sew. I learned how to embroider. And then probably how to sew with a sewing machine. And then there was cross stitching. Sewing has always been like an important part of my life. I can remember having home ec and I'm trying to think about, I'm trying to remember what we sewed in home ec. I don't really remember what we sewed. I kind of feel like it was a pair of shorts. And I don't know why I think that, but I do. I kind of feel like I made a pair of summer shorts. That would have been pretty, like, um, daring of me. Because shorts, I don't think would be an easy thing to do. Like, why not make a pillowcase or something, or a pillow, something really easy? And maybe we did more than one project. I can't really remember. We probably did, because it seemed like, I think we had like time where we did sewing. Then we had time where we spent, because they had a little kitchen where we learned stuff in the kitchen. Because I can remember learning how to make cinnamon rolls with a Bisquick mix. And they were so good. But I think we learned how to cook. So that would have been baking. Did we just learn how to bake, or did we learn how to cook something? I kind of feel like we just learned how to bake. I don't know. We had a whole like babysitting type unit in that class. That class was so much fun. Now they don't have home ec anymore. No schools have home ec. It's up to the parents. I mean, I was lucky. My mom really had already taught me how to sew, and I knew how to bake. So it was an easy class for me. But we didn't just have to take home ec. We had to take home ec one semester. We had to take industrial arts one semester, where we learned how to use tools, and then we had art a semester. And then I wonder what the other semester was. It was probably gym or something. Maybe music. I would think maybe music. Because gym was never like in the elective. It was like, that was not an elective. That was a thing that you did for sure. Now they call it physical education. If I say gym, my kids are like, who's Jim? Who's Jim? Who are you talking about? Jim who? And I said, no, it's physical education. My freshman year, I took physical education every day that whole year so that I could get it done and out of the way, and I didn't ever have to take it again while I was in high school. And I was so glad I got it out of the way. I got it done and out of the way. Never had to worry about it again. That was never something I really totally enjoyed. I was not a sports kid. I was a theater kid. And I was in the choir. I was never a sports kid. A lot of channels have been getting memberships lately, I've noticed. Some of the people that I watch. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if that's something I'll ever entertain or not. I haven't quite decided. I really try to make sure that everybody has access to things if they want them. Like even my Ko-Fi. I mean, if the membership, if I could have made it free, I would have, but you can't. So, I mean, I made it $1. That was the cheapest I could make the donation for it. So, and I've given, I feel like, on my Facebook group, I've, for the first year, I was putting digital stamps on there and some printables and things for free. I try to, I need to do something for 500 since I finally hit 500. I've tried to do something for each of the milestones, and I need to do something for that. That just reminded me. I need to make myself a note to do a giveaway for 500. I need to do that because that's a big milestone. See, this one's coming together pretty quick. I told you it came together really well. Got the house, and there's a light in the window of the house, the top window, to let people know that it's safe to come there. A wagon, because a lot of people hid in wagons. The light to shine the way, the lantern, a hand, the two hands for helping hand. Freedom, because she was trying to get them to freedom. And of course her photo there of Miss Harriet. I love that name. I love the name Harriet. I think it's a terrific name. For sure. I need to do a Harriet journal. That reminds me. I need to make sure that's added to my names. Maybe this year I'll try to do a journal for each of the women in this book. That would be kind of interesting. To try name one of my journals, since I name them. And I'm not a lot of people name their journals. I just think when you name them, it gives them some personality. Helps define their personality maybe a little bit. I don't know. And there we go. We've got that done. Put those away. I try to clean up every time I'm done. Clean up my mess a little bit. I realized that I was talking to my kids the other day. I said, a good way to gauge what my mind is like at the moment is to take a look at my craft room. If my craft room is a mess, then my mind is a mess. If my craft room is clean, then my mind is clean, is in order at the moment. But if it's not, then Houston, we have a problem. And if it's a mess, then just leave me alone for a while. I'll get it sorted out eventually. It's just, sometimes it takes me a minute. I think I'm just doing a look through back on this, a reflection. It would have been nice if I would have moved it over a little bit so you could have saw it a little bit. Now I think I'm looking at who I'm going to be doing next. And which ones we've got. Which it looks like the next ones might be Malela and Jane. I think they're probably the next ones. Because from here, I think I did them in order. Going through the rest of the back of the book. The rest of the back of the book. But I am loving how the book's coming together. And it's something different, especially for me. I've been, every once in a while, I've been doing a lot of altered books. And every once in a while, you need a break from, doing the same old. Although I actually am getting ready to go back and do another altered book for St. Patrick's Day. I wasn't going to, but I ended up getting this one finished in time. So I am going to be able to work on that. And I've never done a St. Patrick's Day themed book before. I think this time last year I was still kind of doing cards in March. So I hadn't really found junk journaling yet and moved my focus over to junk journaling yet. So yeah, that's what I had been doing. I must be talking still a lot about something because I'm moving my hands around. I talk with my hands. Have you ever noticed that? I do talk with my hands sometimes, which isn't a bad thing considering that's really what you see when I'm doing things is my hands. I wonder why I'm doing another flip through of this. I don't know. Oh, I'm using some glue and fixing that edge there. Trying to get the edge to sit down better. Let that glue dry, ma'am. Oh, didn't let it dry very long. All right. So it looks like we're almost to the end. And what I'm going to say is my regular, remember that crafting is cheaper than therapy. And we get to make really cool things, which I love. And I'm looking at the cover and realizing I'm not loving the cover. It needs something. It's too ordinary for me for this particular book. And when you see by 6, oh, I don't know if you'll see that in 6. Well, by the flip through, you'll see that the cover actually takes on a life of its own and becomes something way more extraordinary than what it is currently, which is kind of cool. Because, yeah, it definitely needs something. It has a good start, good bones, but it just needs to be a little bit more colorful, considering how colorful the inside of the book is. The cover should show some reflection on that. Just something different. I just kind of did what I wanted to do with this one. Because, right, you just do what you want to do, have fun, and if people like it, great. And if they don't, then they don't, and maybe they'll like the next thing. You know, so, we're always so hard on ourselves. We need to stop doing that and just learn to be a little bit freer. But it looks like I'm continuing to clean up, and which is just lovely. I think this is we've almost come to the conclusion. And I'll see you next time. Later.